Sophia was having a normal day. It was the kind of day that felt calm and simple, the kind that did not warn you about surprises. She walked through the hallway with light steps, humming a soft tune to herself. Her mind was peaceful and her heart felt relaxed. The hallway was quiet. Sophia reached out to open a door, thinking about nothing in particular. At the very same moment, the door moved suddenly from the other side. Bang! The door hit Sophia before she could step back. Everything happened so fast. Sophia gasped and stumbled backward. Her heart jumped inside her chest, and her eyes grew wide with shock. For a moment, she did not understand what had happened. The world felt strange and loud, even though everything was quiet again. "Ow," Sophia whispered softly. She raised her hand to her head and stood still. Her breathing became quick and uneven. The pain was not sharp, but it was surprising and scary. More than the pain, it was the suddenness that frightened her. Sophia had not seen it coming. She stood there, frozen as her heart beat fast. The hallway that once felt safe now felt different. The door stood still, quiet and ordinary, but to Sophia it looked big and confusing. Tears filled her eyes. "I didn't know," she said quietly. "I didn't know it would happen." Her legs felt shaky as she slowly sat down on the floor. She hugged her knees close to her chest. The shock made her feel small, like she needed to protect herself. Sophia had never been hit by a door before. She touched her head gently again just to make sure she was okay. The pain was already beginning to fade, but the fear stayed. Her heart felt tight and her chest felt warm. Tears rolled down her cheeks. "I was just walking," she whispered. "I was just walking." The tears were not only from pain. They were from surprise, from fear, and from feeling unsafe for the first time that day. Sophia stayed quiet for a while. She listened to her own breathing and the soft sounds around her. The hallway looked the same as before, but she did not feel the same. She felt scared. Slowly, Sophia stood up. She leaned against the wall and took a deep breath. Her body felt a little sore, but she could stand. That made her feel a tiny bit better. "I'm okay," she whispered even though her voice shook. "I think I'm okay." But her heart was still racing. She looked at the door again. It was just a door. Brown, simple, and silent. But now it felt different to her. It felt like something that could hurt her. Sophia took a small step back. Her mind replayed the moment again and again. The sound. The surprise. The feeling of being hit without warning. Each time she thought about it, her chest felt tight. She hugged herself. It was an accident, she tried to tell herself. But the words felt weak right now. Sophia slowly walked away from the door. Each step felt careful. She did not run. She did not rush. She moved like someone who had learned to be cautious. As she walked, her tears dried, but the fear stayed quietly inside her. She reached a safe place and sat down again. Her body finally relaxed a little. She took slow breaths in and out just like she had learned. Slow. Her heartbeat slowly returned to normal. Sophia realized something important in that quiet moment. Accidents can happen anytime, even on normal days, even when you are careful. That thought made her feel confused and sad. "I didn't do anything wrong," she said softly. And that was true. The accident was not her fault. But her heart did not understand that yet. It only remembered the surprise and the fear. Sophia wiped her face with her sleeve and sat quietly. She felt tired even though the day had just begun. Her body and mind needed time to calm down. She wondered if she would feel scared of doors now. The thought made her eyes fill again. "I don't want to be scared," she whispered. But right now she was. The door accident had changed her day. It had changed how safe she felt. And even though she was not badly hurt, her feelings were big and real. Sophia rested there quietly, letting herself feel everything. This was only the beginning of her journey. Sophia stayed sitting on the floor for a long time after the door hit her. The hallway felt too quiet, like it was holding its breath. Her heart was still beating fast, thump, 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 and every sound felt louder than before. She hugged her knees tightly and rocked back and forth just a little, trying to calm herself. The pain in her head was not very strong, but it was there, reminding her of what had happened. It felt sore and warm, and every time she moved, she remembered the sudden moment when the door hit her. That memory made her chest feel tight again. "I don't like this feeling," Sophia whispered. Her eyes filled with tears once more. She had already cried, but now the tears came again, slower and heavier. These tears were not just from pain. They were from fear. They were from shock. They were from feeling unsafe in a place that used to feel normal. Sophia had always thought of doors as simple things. You open them. You close them. You walk through them. She had never thought a door could hurt her. Now, every time she looked toward the hallway, her stomach felt strange. What if it happens again, she thought. That idea scared her more than the pain. Sophia carefully stood up and walked to a nearby chair. She sat down slowly and rested her head against the back. Her body felt tired, as if she had been running for a long time, even though she had only taken a few steps. She touched her head gently again, checking. It still felt sore, but she was okay. Knowing that helped a little, but her heart was still shaking inside. Tears slid down her cheeks and dropped onto her hands. "I didn't see it coming," she whispered again and again. "I didn't see it." Her breathing became uneven, short breaths followed by long sighs. She tried to slow down, but her body was still reacting to the surprise. This was the part that felt the hardest. Not knowing. Not expecting. Not being ready. Sophia felt small and helpless in that moment. Soon, someone noticed that Sophia had been quiet for too long. Gentle footsteps came closer. A soft voice called her name. Sophia looked up, her eyes red and wet. "I got hit by the door," she said quietly. As soon as she said the words out loud, her tears fell faster. Saying it made everything feel real. She pointed weakly toward the hallway, unable to explain more. The person came closer and knelt beside her, speaking softly and calmly. They asked her where it hurt and if she could move. Sophia nodded slowly and showed them her head. She felt comforted by the calm voice and gentle presence. Someone was there now. She was not alone. "It hurts," Sophia said honestly. "And it scared me." The person nodded, understanding her feelings. They did not rush her. They did not tell her to stop crying. They simply stayed with her. That made Sophia feel a little safer. The pain in her head slowly began to fade, but the fear stayed longer. Even while sitting safely, her body felt tense. Her shoulders were tight. Her hands trembled slightly. Sophia noticed this and felt confused. "Why am I still shaking?" she asked quietly. She had stopped crying for a moment, but her body still remembered the accident. It remembered the loud sound, the sudden hit, the shock. Her body was trying to protect her. Sophia leaned into the comfort beside her and took slow breaths. Slow. Little by little, her breathing became steadier. The tight feeling in her chest softened just a little. After some time, Sophia felt strong enough to stand again. She was guided gently to a safer, quieter room. The door there was already open, and that made her feel better. She sat down and rested, holding something soft in her hands. The softness helped her relax. But every now and then, her eyes drifted toward the doorway. She watched it carefully as if it might move on its own. Her heart skipped each time she thought about walking near it again. "I don't want to go near doors," Sophia whispered. That thought surprised her, but it felt true. The door that hit her had changed how she felt. It was no longer just a door in her mind. It was something scary. The tears returned, slow and quiet. "I'm scared," she admitted. Hearing herself say it out loud made her feel both sad and relieved. Sad because she did not like feeling scared. Relieved because she was finally telling the truth. The gentle voice beside her spoke again, explaining softly that accidents happen. That doors can move suddenly. That it was not her fault. Sophia listened carefully. "Not my fault," she repeated quietly. Those words felt important. She held on to them like a small light in the dark. As time passed, Sophia's body felt calmer. The shaking stopped. The pain in her head faded into a dull ache and then into nothing at all. Her tears slowed and finally stopped. But the memory stayed. Sophia wiped her face and took a deep breath. "I don't like accidents," she said. "No one does. Accidents make you feel scared because they are sudden. They make you feel unsure because you did not expect them." Sophia was learning this for the first time in a strong way. As evening came closer, Sophia felt tired in a deep way. Her body and mind had worked hard all day. She rested quietly, not talking much, just thinking. She thought about how fast the door moved. She thought about the sound. She thought about how her heart had jumped. But she also thought about something else. She thought about how someone came to help her. How she was safe now. How the pain did not last forever. That helped her feel a little better. Sophia realized something important, even though she was still sad and shaken. Crying does not mean you are weak. Being scared does not mean you are broken. It means something unexpected happened. And she was allowed to feel this way. Sophia curled up comfortably and rested. Her eyes felt heavy. Her body felt calm at last. The tears were gone for now, but the feelings were still there, resting quietly inside her. She whispered softly before closing her eyes. "I hope tomorrow feels easier." And with that hope, Sophia rested, knowing this was only the next step in her journey. When Sophia woke up the next morning, the first thing she remembered was the door. Her eyes opened slowly, and before she even moved, her heart began to beat faster. The room was quiet and safe, but her body reacted as if something might happen again. She lay still under her blanket and listened. Nothing moved. Nothing sounded strange. Still, Sophia felt nervous. She slowly sat up and looked around her room. Everything looked normal. The sunlight came through the window and the air felt calm. Yet inside her chest, a small knot of fear had formed. "I'm okay," Sophia whispered, but her voice sounded unsure. She carefully got out of bed. Her feet touched the floor and she paused, remembering how suddenly the door had moved the day before. She looked toward her bedroom door. It was open, standing quietly, doing nothing at all. But Sophia did not trust it. Her heart beat a little faster as she walked toward it. Each step felt careful, like she was stepping on something fragile. When she reached the doorway, she stopped and stared at it for a long moment. "It won't move," she told herself. "It's not going to hit me." Still, she hesitated. Sophia stepped through the doorway quickly, as if running past something scary. Once she was on the other side, she stopped and breathed out. "I did it," she whispered. But her hands were shaking. That surprised her. She had walked through a door many times before. She had never been afraid of it. Now, something so normal felt dangerous. As Sophia went through her morning routine, she noticed how careful she was being. She listened closely for sounds. She looked around corners before walking forward. Every door made her pause. Her body remembered the accident, even when her mind tried to forget. At breakfast, Sophia sat quietly and ate slowly. She kept glancing toward the door nearby, watching it closely. Each time it moved even a little, her shoulders tightened. Someone noticed her nervous looks. "Are you okay?" a gentle voice asked. Sophia nodded, but she did not feel okay. She did not know how to explain this new fear. It felt strange and confusing. "I'm scared of doors," she thought. That sounds silly. But it did not feel silly to her. After breakfast, Sophia walked through the house carefully. When she came near a door, she slowed down. Sometimes she waited. Sometimes she asked someone else to go first. Every small sound made her jump. A door closing softly made her heart race. A handle moving made her step back. She felt embarrassed by her fear. "I shouldn't be scared," she told herself. "It was just one accident." But her body did not listen. Fear does not always listen to words. Sophia found a quiet place to sit and hugged her knees. She felt frustrated now, not just scared. She did not like feeling this way. She missed feeling relaxed and free. "I hate this," she whispered. Tears filled her eyes, not because of pain this time, but because of fear and confusion. Why did one accident change so much? Sophia thought about the moment again. The sound of the door. The sudden hit. The shock. Her heart jumped just remembering it. Her body tightened again. "I don't want it to happen again," she said softly. That was the fear hiding inside her. In the afternoon, Sophia had to walk through a hallway with many doors. Just thinking about it made her stomach feel tight. She stood at the beginning of the hallway and stared ahead. Her legs felt heavy. "I can do this," she whispered. She took one step forward. Then another. Each step felt slow and careful. She kept her eyes on the doors, watching them closely. Nothing moved. Still, she hurried past them, her heart pounding. When she reached the other end, she stopped and leaned against the wall. Her breathing was fast and her hands were shaking again. "That was scary," she whispered. But she had done it. That gave her a tiny bit of confidence. Later, someone sat beside Sophia and spoke gently to her. They asked her how she was feeling. Sophia hesitated, then finally spoke. "I feel scared," she said. "Even when nothing is happening." The words felt strange but also relieving. The gentle voice explained something important. Sometimes, after an accident, your body remembers the fear. It tries to protect you by being extra careful. That fear does not mean you are weak. It means you are human. Sophia listened closely. "So I'm not silly?" she asked quietly. "No," came the calm reply. "You're learning." Those words stayed with Sophia. Learning. Maybe this fear was something she could learn to understand. As evening came, Sophia felt tired again. Being afraid all day had taken a lot of energy. She rested quietly, holding something soft in her hands. When a door closed softly nearby, she jumped again, but she noticed something different this time. The fear passed faster. Her heart slowed sooner. Her breathing returned to normal quicker. That's new, she thought. She realized that even though she was afraid, she was also coping. At night, Sophia prepared for bed carefully. She made sure her door was open and safe. She climbed into bed and pulled the blanket close. The room felt calm. She lay there thinking about the day. Yes, she had been scared. Yes, doors still made her nervous, but she had also walked past them. She had spoken about her fear. She had survived the day. That mattered. Before closing her eyes, Sophia whispered something important to herself. Being scared doesn't mean I can't be brave. Those words felt true. She closed her eyes and rested. Her heart still remembered the accident, but it also remembered safety, kindness, and care. The fear had not disappeared, but it no longer felt as powerful. And that was the beginning of healing. The next morning, Sophia woke up feeling a little different. The fear was still there, sitting quietly inside her chest, but it did not feel as loud as before. It felt smaller, like a shadow instead of a giant. She opened her eyes and looked around her room. Everything was calm. The sunlight gently touched the walls and the room felt warm and safe. Sophia stayed in bed for a moment, listening to her breathing. Out, out. She remembered the words she had whispered to herself the night before. Being scared doesn't mean I can't be brave. She sat up slowly and looked at her door. It stood there quietly, not moving at all. Sophia felt her heart beat a little faster, but she did not look away this time. I'm okay, she said softly. Her voice sounded steadier than before. Sophia placed her feet on the floor and stood up. She walked toward the door slowly, one careful step at a time. When she reached it, she stopped. Her hand hovered in the air. Her body wanted to pull back. Her mind wanted to move forward. Sophia took a deep breath and gently touched the door. It felt solid and still. Nothing happened. She touched it again. Still nothing. A small smile appeared on her face. It's not scary right now, she whispered. That made her feel proud. As she walked through the house that morning, Sophia noticed something important. She was still careful, but she was not frozen anymore. She paused near doors, but she did not run away from them. She was learning. Later that day, Sophia was invited to play a simple game that involved walking in and out of rooms. At first, she felt nervous just thinking about it. Her stomach tightened and her hands felt cold. I don't know if I can, she thought. But then she remembered something else she had learned. She did not have to be perfect. She just had to try. I'll go slow, she decided. She stood near the first door. It was open wide and still. She looked at it closely and noticed the little details she had never paid attention to before. The smooth wood, the quiet hinges, the way it stayed in place unless someone moved it. It's just a door, she reminded herself. Sophia stepped forward and walked through it calmly. Nothing happened. Her heart still beat fast, but she kept going. With each door she passed, her fear changed. It did not disappear, but it softened. It felt less sharp, less sudden. Her body began to understand that not every door was dangerous. Sometimes Sophia stopped and rested when she felt tired. Facing fear took energy and she listened to her body. Resting helped her feel strong again. That afternoon, Sophia talked about her feelings again. She explained how she still felt scared sometimes, but also how she was learning ways to calm herself. She shared how deep breathing helped. She shared how going slowly helped. She shared how talking helped. The gentle listener smiled and nodded. Those are very smart ways to take care of yourself, they said. Sophia felt proud again. Later, something unexpected happened. A door closed suddenly nearby. The sound was louder than she expected. Sophia jumped. Her heart raced. Her hands shook. For a moment, fear rushed back like a wave. But then something amazing happened. Instead of running away, Sophia stopped. She put one hand on her chest and took a deep breath. Then another. It's okay, she whispered. I'm safe. The fear did not disappear right away, but it slowly began to fade. That worked, she thought. She realized she had just done something very brave. As the day went on, Sophia noticed small victories everywhere. She opened a door herself. She stood near a door without stepping back. She even laughed when one made a quiet sound. Each small moment helped her feel stronger. Fear was still there, but it was changing. In the evening, Sophia sat quietly and thought about how far she had come. Just a short time ago, doors felt terrifying. Now they felt manageable. She understood something important. Healing did not mean forgetting what happened. It meant learning how to feel safe again, even with the memory. That night, Sophia prepared for bed with care and calm. She chose how she wanted her door to be. She checked it once, then left it alone. She climbed into bed feeling tired but proud. Before sleeping, Sophia whispered to herself again. I am learning. I am brave. I am safe. Her eyes closed gently. The fear had not fully gone away. But Sophia knew something now. She was stronger than it. The days after the accident slowly began to feel different for Sophia. Not perfect, not easy, but different in a way that made her feel hopeful. The fear was still there, but it no longer controlled every step she took. Instead, it followed quietly behind her, like a small shadow that grew smaller each day. One morning, Sophia woke up and noticed something new. She did not think about the door right away. That surprised her. She stretched under her blanket and smiled softly. The room felt peaceful. When she finally looked toward the door, her heart beat a little faster, but not too much. It felt manageable. "I'm getting better," she whispered. Sophia got out of bed and walked toward the door without stopping halfway. She placed her hand on the handle and opened it gently. The door moved slowly and quietly. Nothing bad happened. She felt a warm feeling spread through her chest. It felt like confidence. Later that morning, Sophia decided to challenge herself a little more. She wanted to open and close a door all by herself, slowly and carefully. She stood in front of it and took a deep breath. "I can stop any time," she reminded herself. She gently pushed the door closed. The sound was soft and calm. Then she opened it again. Her heart beat faster, but she stayed calm. She repeated this a few times, each movement slow and gentle. With every open and close, her fear felt less powerful. "This door listens to me," she thought. "I am in control." That thought made her feel strong. Throughout the day, Sophia paid close attention to her feelings. When fear appeared, she did not push it away or feel angry at it. Instead, she noticed it. "My heart is beating fast. My hands feel warm. I feel nervous right now." Naming her feelings helped her understand them. When fear became too strong, Sophia took breaks. She sat quietly, hugged something soft, or took slow breaths. She learned that being kind to herself helped more than trying to be brave all the time. In the afternoon, Sophia walked through a place with many doors again. This time she did not rush. She walked at her own pace, stopping when she needed to. One door was slightly open, moving gently with the air. Seeing it move made her nervous. She paused and felt her heart race. "I don't like that," she whispered. But instead of turning away, Sophia stayed where she was. She placed her feet firmly on the ground and took deep breaths. Out, out. She watched the door carefully. It moved slowly, not suddenly. She noticed that it was not dangerous. It was just reacting to the air. After a moment, her breathing slowed. The fear softened. "I did that," she thought proudly. That moment felt important. She had stayed with her fear instead of running from it. As the day went on, Sophia talked more about what she was learning. She shared how fear could show up even when nothing was wrong. She shared how courage did not mean fear disappeared. It meant she could move forward even when fear was there. Listening ears nodded gently. "You are learning something very important," she was told. "You are learning to trust yourself." Those words stayed in Sophia's mind. Trust yourself. She repeated them quietly when she felt unsure. In the evening, something unexpected happened again. A door slammed loudly somewhere nearby. The sound echoed through the space. Sophia jumped and fear rushed back quickly. Her heart raced. Her chest felt tight. For a moment she felt small again. But then she remembered everything she had practiced. She stopped. She breathed. She looked around. "I'm safe," she said softly. That was just a sound. The fear did not disappear instantly, but it did not take over either. It slowly faded, leaving Sophia tired but proud. "That was hard," she thought, "but I handled it." That night, Sophia reflected on her journey so far. She thought about how afraid she had been at first. She remembered how even looking at a door felt scary. Now she could walk past them. She could touch them. She could even close them. Fear had not gone away completely, but it had changed. Sophia realized something important. Strength did not come from never being afraid. Strength came from facing fear gently, one small step at a time. Before sleeping, Sophia whispered kind words to herself. "I am patient. I am learning. I am strong inside." Her body felt tired, but her heart felt warm. As she closed her eyes, Sophia felt safe enough to rest. She knew there might still be hard moments ahead. Fear might return sometimes. But now she knew something powerful. She had strength inside her, and she could use it whenever she needed. As the days passed, Sophia began to notice a quiet change inside herself. The fear that once felt huge now felt smaller, like a soft echo instead of a loud noise. It was still there, but it no longer decided everything she did. Sophia felt proud of that, even though she knew her journey was not finished yet. One morning, Sophia walked down a long hallway. The floor was smooth, the light was gentle, and the door stood quietly on both sides. Just a few days ago, this hallway would have made her stop completely. Her legs would have felt heavy, and her heart would have raced before she even took a step. Today was different. Sophia still felt a little nervous, but she kept walking. Her steps were slow and calm. She noticed how her feet touched the ground. She listened to her breathing. She felt present and aware. Suddenly, she noticed someone standing near one of the doors ahead. They were not moving. Their hands were held close to their body, and their shoulders looked tense. Sophia recognized the feeling right away. That was fear. Sophia stopped and watched quietly. She remembered how alone she had felt when fear first entered her heart. She remembered wishing someone would understand. Without rushing, Sophia walked closer and spoke gently. "It's okay," she said in a soft voice. "You don't have to hurry." The person looked at Sophia with surprise. Their shoulders relaxed just a little. "I get scared too," Sophia added honestly. "Going slow helps me." Those simple words made a difference. The other person took a deep breath and nodded. Together they walked past the door calmly. When it was over, Sophia felt something warm inside her chest. It was not fear. It was not relief. It was strength. Sophia realized that by helping someone else, she had also helped herself. She felt braver than she had moments before. Her fear had not disappeared, but it felt quieter. Throughout the day, Sophia became more aware of others. She noticed nervous glances. She noticed shaky hands. She noticed small pauses before big steps. Instead of ignoring them, she showed kindness. Sometimes she smiled. Sometimes she spoke softly. Sometimes she simply stayed nearby. Each small act made her feel steady and calm. In the afternoon, Sophia faced a moment she had been worrying about. She needed to walk through a place where many doors opened and closed often. The sounds echoed and the movement was unpredictable. Just thinking about it made her stomach feel tight. Sophia stopped before entering and closed her eyes for a moment. "I feel scared," she admitted to herself. She remembered that being honest about her feelings helped her feel safe. She placed one hand on her chest and breathed slowly. She opened her eyes and stepped forward. The space was busy. Doors moved. Sounds filled the air. Sophia's heart began to beat faster. Her body reacted before her mind could calm it. She felt the fear rising. But this time she did not panic. She slowed down. She focused on one thing at a time. One step. One breath. One sound. A door opened nearby and the sound was louder than she expected. Fear rushed through her like a wave. Sophia stopped walking. Her hands felt warm. Her chest felt tight. "I know this feeling," she thought. Instead of running away, Sophia stayed where she was. She bent her knees slightly and grounded her feet on the floor. She breathed deeply and slowly. "I am safe right now," she whispered. "This feeling will pass." The fear stayed for a moment, then slowly softened. Sophia felt tired, but she also felt proud. She had stayed. She continued walking, slowly and carefully, until she reached a quieter place. When she finally stopped, she leaned against the wall and smiled gently. "That was hard," she thought, "but I did it." Later that day, Sophia sat quietly and reflected. She thought about how far she had come since the accident. She remembered how even looking at a door once felt impossible. Now she could walk through busy spaces filled with movement and sound. She also thought about how helping others had helped her. Fear felt less heavy when it was shared. Courage felt stronger when it was kind. In the evening, Sophia wrote down what she had learned so far, in simple words she could understand. Fear is a feeling, not a rule. Going slow is okay. Breathing helps my body calm down. Helping others helps me too. Reading the words made her feel peaceful. As night came, Sophia prepared for bed. She noticed the door in her room again. It stood quietly just like always. She did not feel angry at it anymore. She did not feel scared of it either. It was just a door. Sophia chose how open she wanted it to be and felt comfortable with her choice. She climbed into bed and pulled the blanket up to her chin. Before closing her eyes, Sophia placed a hand on her heart and whispered softly, "I am learning. I am brave in my own way. I can handle hard moments." Her body felt tired, but her heart felt full. Sophia knew fear might still visit her sometimes. She knew there might be days when doors felt scary again. But now she trusted herself. She had tools. She had patience. She had kindness. And most importantly, she had learned that helping others could make her stronger too. With that comforting thought, Sophia closed her eyes and rested, feeling safe enough to sleep and strong enough to face tomorrow. The morning began softly, as if the world itself wanted to be kind to Sophia. Pale sunlight slipped quietly into her room, touching the walls and the floor with warmth. Birds chirped outside and the air felt peaceful and still. Sophia opened her eyes slowly and stayed very quiet for a moment, listening to the gentle sounds around her. She noticed something important. Her heart felt calm. There was no sudden rush of fear. No tight feeling in her chest. No fast beating in her ears. The memory of the accident was still somewhere inside her, but it did not jump forward anymore. It rested quietly, like a book placed gently on a shelf. Sophia smiled to herself. She stretched her arms and sat up in bed. As she looked around her room, everything felt familiar and safe. When her eyes reached the door, she paused for just a second. Not because she was scared, but because she wanted to notice how she felt. The door stood there quietly, doing nothing at all. "I'm okay," Sophia whispered, and this time she truly believed it. She stood up and walked toward the door with calm steps. Her body felt relaxed. Her breathing was slow and steady. She placed her hand on the handle and opened it gently. The door moved smoothly and quietly. Nothing bad happened. Sophia felt a deep sense of peace spread through her chest. It was not excitement or surprise. It was confidence. A quiet, strong feeling that told her she had grown. As Sophia walked through the house that morning, she noticed how different everything felt. Doors opened and closed nearby, but her body did not react with fear anymore. She noticed the sounds, but they did not scare her. She noticed the movement, but it did not make her stop. Fear had not disappeared forever, but it no longer ruled her actions. Sophia went about her day doing normal things. She walked through hallways without hesitation. She entered rooms without pausing. She passed doors without thinking twice. Each small moment reminded her of how far she had come. Sometimes a sudden sound made her heart jump just a little. But instead of panic, she felt awareness. "That surprised me," she would think. Then she would breathe and continue. She knew how to handle it now. Later in the day, Sophia sat quietly and reflected on her journey. She remembered the moment the door had hit her. She remembered the shock, the pain, and the fear that followed. She remembered feeling confused and helpless, wondering why something so normal had suddenly become so frightening. She also remembered every step after that. Learning to breathe slowly. Learning to pause instead of run. Learning to listen to her body. Learning to speak about her feelings. Learning to be patient with herself. Each lesson had helped her heal. Sophia realized something very important. Healing was not about forgetting what happened. It was about learning how to feel safe again even with the memory. It was about trusting herself. That realization made her feel strong. In the afternoon, Sophia noticed someone standing nervously near a door. Their body was tense and their eyes looked unsure. Sophia recognized that feeling instantly. She walked over gently and spoke with kindness. "You can go slow," she said softly. "It's okay." The person looked relieved and nodded. They took a deep breath and moved forward. Watching this made Sophia smile. Helping someone else now felt natural to her. She understood fear, and that understanding made her compassionate. She realized that her experience had taught her something valuable. She could use what she had learned to help others feel safe too. As evening arrived, the sky outside changed colors. The day felt complete and calm. Sophia felt tired, but it was a peaceful tiredness, the kind that comes after growth and learning. She prepared for bed slowly, enjoying each quiet moment. When she reached her bedroom door, she paused again, not because she was afraid, but because she wanted to remember. "This door once scared me," she thought. "And now it doesn't." She touched the door gently and smiled. Sophia climbed into bed and pulled the blanket close. The room felt warm and safe. The door stood quietly where it belonged, no longer a symbol of fear, but simply part of her space. Before closing her eyes, Sophia thought about the biggest lesson she had learned. Being brave did not mean never being scared. Being brave meant facing fear with kindness and patience. She had learned that fear could shrink when met with understanding. She had learned that small steps mattered. She had learned that healing took time, and that was okay. Sophia whispered softly to herself, letting the words settle deep inside her heart. "I am brave in my own way. I am safe now. I can handle hard things." Her breathing slowed. Her body relaxed. Her mind felt peaceful. Sophia drifted into sleep feeling proud of herself. Not because she was perfect, but because she had tried. She had learned. She had grown. The fear that once felt so big was now small and quiet. And with that calm feeling in her heart, Sophia began a new chapter of her life, one filled with courage, confidence, and gentle strength. Glowing star.